You're not tuning in with BG from your mobile device, airways, or maybe even your TV. Yeah.
The real, the fake, the money, the power, respect. Even tough tops that might just leave you upset. The old, the young, that talk out the side of their neck. What separates just being good from the best? I did what I did, so I really don't have no regrets. Maybe real estate, cause we got a lot to address. Giving people their flowers before they get put to rest. If we disagree, just know that I still want you blessed.
Hey, Dad.
What's up?
What we talking about?
Welcome back to BG. What we talking about, dog? It's been a long time, dog. I know it's been a long time. I know. Don't curse me out. I'm sorry, man. I go through shit too, y'all. I'm sorry. I apologize, man. It's been a rough few months for the boy, but you know what I mean? I'm here, man. I'm here to talk about what's on my mind. I think I'm gonna do all sports today. I was gonna go into all of the Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Man stuff, but I'm gonna wait till I got my guys on with me. And I just want to talk sports, man. It's been a hectic 2026 so far. I hope everybody is maintaining out there with the way the economy's going right now. Y'all seen? I know y'all done seen some of my videos of me at the gas pump making life decisions, man. I just hope everybody's doing the right thing, man, and maintaining and providing the best they can for their families, man, and surviving through this tough time, man. And better days are ahead. Better days are ahead. That's what I keep telling myself. Better days are ahead. What I've been up to since the last time I've been in front of y'all. Let me see. I got into coaching, man. Coaching. Oh man. Y'all all know my love for basketball. It stems very deep, and I was given an opportunity from my daughter's high school team to coach the middle school team that will be coming into the high school. The way it works out here in Virginia, they don't really have school teams, but the high schools that they're attached to can create teams, and there's a full league. So all of the middle schools around the area technically have teams and technically do compete, but it's not within a league like the high school is in. So it's a little bit different. So it becomes a little difficult, but it was a very interesting season, man. My girls did pretty well. Y'all can see it over there. They got me this little plaque after the season, man. South County Colts, man. My girls, 7th grade girls. We had a very, very good season, man. Lots and lots of learning, man. I think we got some girls that really are going to attach themselves to the game and fall in love with it. I mean, at this level, it was more about teaching it and letting them have fun. But there are some girls that was really taking it serious. We had one of our players. We were able to submit 3 names. But one of our players did get an all-league selection. I was very, very happy about that, man. And like I said, man, just being back out there on the basketball court, I stopped playing 3 years ago. Stopped taking it really serious 3 years ago. And I missed it. Being out there with those girls definitely brought back that love for basketball for me. So I enjoyed that 100%. And also, I'm hoping to advance that this year. I'm hoping to step up to the high school ranks, and even if I'm not coaching varsity, maybe helping out with the freshman team or the JV team. Also at my daughter's school, man. And speaking of my daughter's school, man, the South County Stallions, man. They had a beautiful season, man. I followed them throughout the entire season. Finished the season 27-2. They lost their first game of the season and then went on a 27-game win streak. Huge 27-game win streak, led by seniors. One of our seniors, Layla Tall, who had been a varsity player all 4 years. She led the way. We made a run. We won the district. We won the region, and then we lost in the semifinals of the states. Man, it was a tough way to see the girls go out. I hated to see it, but watching them throughout the season, watching them grow, watching them build, man, it was definitely beautiful to see, and it makes me happy. As some of y'all know, I moved out here 2 years ago, and I wasn't the happiest person to move out here. I didn't want to live in this area so much, but I'm very happy that my daughter is on an amazing basketball program now. She's learning the game from an amazing coach and around a winning program. I mean, again, at the end of the day, you want your children to play as much as they can, and that's all that matters. You just want to see them the most. But no, I really want her to be a part of a team that's about winning, not just, yo, we just out here. no, I want her to learn the game the way I learned the game, and I feel like she is getting that currently. What else been going on? Nothing else, man. Like I said, man, got kind of a little huff scare within the family. Kind of is slightly the reason I haven't been in front of the camera. Dealing with this retirement, being retired, it feels good to be retired with all this crazy stuff going on in the world. But it's just an adjustment, man. And all of the content I was able to give y'all over the last 2 years, man, it was my safe space, my space where I was able to vent, my space where I was able to stare in front of this camera. And I don't care what whether y'all like it or y'all love it or y'all hate it. I was able to be me. So I'm trying to get back to that, man. I'm trying to get back to that, and it starts today, man. So enough with all the shit that I've been going through, man. Let's talk about what's on my mind in the sports world, man. We just ended March Madness, man. March Madness was amazing to say the least. And I'll talk about the boys first. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm more invested in the girls. But on the boys' side, we saw Michigan get their championship this year versus UConn. Great final. I had Michigan winning once it got to the Final Four. I didn't have them winning in my initial bracket. But once they got to the Final Four, I did think they were the best team there. But the thing I got a question I want to ask you guys, how you guys feel about the direction college basketball is going? Not just college basketball, college sports in general. I, for one, love NIL. I love that these kids are getting paid what they deserve. They bring in millions and millions of dollars for these universities and hadn't been compensated over the years, but it's finally there. But the only thing that's been weird to me is, damn, if you look at the boys' side for basketball, you look at the girls' side for basketball, you look at the boys' side for football. It's a bunch of grown men teams and grown women teams beating a lot of these younger college teams. And I say to myself, well, damn, is this fair that a person that's like, well, I still got 2 years of eligibility. I graduated 2 years ago, but I still can hoop. I could go play, or I still can catch a football, so I could go play. I don't know, man. I don't know how much I like it. And initially, I loved everything about it. And this is, I think, I don't want to call it a downfall. I don't look at it as a downfall simply because, people getting a chance to play basketball. People getting a chance to play the sport that they love at a high level and get compensated for it. So I love that portion of it. But it's just weird that I notice all of these more senior-led teams and teams of guys who transferred there this year. Like Michigan, not one of those guys started their college career in Michigan. I get it. This is the new wave. This is how college basketball has shifted. I get it, but it's just different. It's just not what I'm used to. So it's just, I don't know. It's going to take some getting used to. The one and dones are getting their recognition and definitely getting their draft position. But then when they go into the schools, the likes of the Dukes, who I'm very happy they lost, the North Carolinas, the Kansas, the Kentuckys, they might shine, but when they facing these grown men, it just looked different, and it showed on the boys' side of the tournament. And in my opinion, I think Michigan was the better team. Michigan was the more experienced team, and although they didn't have the cohesion of being together for 4 years, man, they was able to lock in and bring home a national title. So hats off to Michigan, man, to the Wolverines for bringing home a national title, man. But on the women's side, man, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Everything about the women's side was amazing to me, man. I loved every second of the women's tournament. I watched almost every second. Obviously, you gotta miss some games because there's some games on at the same time. But man, the women's tournament was amazing. If you missed it, you missed a goodie, man. The UCLA Bruins came home and took the national championship. I did have UCLA winning at the top of the bracket. When the brackets came out and I did my bracket challenge, I did have UCLA winning. I was actually the only person in my bracket challenge that picked UCLA. So going into the championship game, I was in, I think, third, but one person had UConn winning, so they couldn't win. Another person had South Carolina winning. So if I won, I would jump both of them. I wound up winning, jumping both of them, won me a couple of dollars. Nothing too crazy. But, man, again, on the women's side, man, we saw some amazing talent. I think the the surprise of the tournament, which really isn't surprising because I mean it's a 1 seed at the end of the day. But South Carolina taking down UConn, man. I think it was across the board. People thought UConn was the favorite for the championship, rightfully so. Undefeated season. Geno was trying to go 40-0 this year, but it came up short. They came up just short and lost to South Carolina, ending their season 38-1. AZ Fudd looked a little off. Looked a little off in that championship. Looked like she has more flaws than a lot of people thought going into that game. Very, very surprising. And then the fact that Dawn's able to put a 5'9" guard on the best player on the floor, Sarah Strong, and it be effective is huge. It's huge. Girls made shots when needed, and they was able to take down UConn, man. That was a great, great ending to that game. And I know we don't want to talk about it, but we got to talk about it. You already know I don't hold no punches, man. I hate that Dawn had to lose in the national championship, but let's talk about Dawn and Geno's exchange at half court at the end of that South Carolina UConn game, man. Very, 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 very tasteless from Geno Auriemma. Really couldn't believe it. I know there's a lot of people that hate Geno that say that's just him. Candace Parker was very open about the fact that, well, somebody show you their colors over and over again, whether no matter how spread out they show you their colors. That's just who they are. I didn't believe that about Geno. I truly believed that Geno was a class act in a way, but over the years, his beef with Pat Summitt, I thought maybe that was just a coach thing. But with this, it looks like he just seems like an entitled dude, dog. He seems very entitled, very classless act that he performed at the end of that game and at the end of what was it, the first half when he blatantly calls out Dawn, blatantly calls out the refs and makes it seem like everybody's against UConn. Come on, man. Those girls were competing at a very high level, and for you to make that the end of that game about you not getting a handshake, it was kind of corny to me. I saw what happened. They showed a lot of videos. They showed Dawn Staley going back, walking down the line and shaking I'm talking about everybody at the table, everybody down the line, his coaching staff, every single person that could get a handshake. Dawn Staley shook their hand. But I guess right before tip-off, Geno stood at half court and Dawn was coaching. She was in a huddle. It wasn't like Dawn was staring at him like, what you want? What you standing over there for? Bruh. Dawn was coaching. Geno decided to take that personal, and I think his frustration throughout the game is what made that reaction towards the end of the game. Excuse me. But it's still unacceptable. You can't allow that. You can't allow your emotions to get the best of you in that moment, and for you to react like that, definitely classless. Like I said, since then, Geno did put out what I call a BS apology, where he named just saying, "Hey, I would like to apologize to the South Carolina staff." That was BS, man. That was definitely his PR team. That was not Geno Auriemma. I hope that wasn't how you decided to wake up the day after that, after seeing that you were completely wrong about Sarah Strong's jersey getting ripped, after seeing that you were completely wrong. Oh, damn, she did come shake all our hands. I forgot about that. For you to give that half-ass apology, I couldn't respect it. But since then, Geno has put out another apology naming Dawn directly. I'm pretty sure the backlash of him not saying her name came back to him, and he realized, yeah, I do got to do this the right way. I can't allow the story to be written that I'm this guy. Even if you are that guy, you still should have enough humility to say, you know what, I effed up. I was wrong. And because he did do that, although it was on the back end, although it may have been a little late to some, I'm the type of guy that I'm a forgiving person, man. I'm a forgiving person, and I understand people make mistakes. I'm definitely looking at you a little different, but I'm not gonna go into this saying, all right, this is Geno. Geno's just this asshole coach. I'm just not gonna put that label on him. Now, what I will say is I will be second guessing if I would want to come to UConn if I was a player. I would be questioning if I want my child to go to UConn if I was a parent of a player. And not because they're not going to get the game the correct way. They're gonna learn basketball under Gino Auriemma. It's not because they're not going to be a part of a winning program, because they will be a winning program under Gino Auriemma. But I think coaches are so important, teaching those life experiences and get growing young women, not just young athletes. And I don't want any young athlete to think that's how you act when you're not getting your way. That's how you act when calls aren't going your way. I really did not like that. But again, he did apologize, although it was a little late, although it was a little half-assed the first time. He did come out and apologize. So who am I to keep holding grudges against Gino? It's up to Dawn to decide what she wants to do. She's come out and been classy about it this whole time. Everything she said about it, even before the national championship, they wanted to ask her questions about it. No, I got one focus right now. That's to try to win a national championship. Maybe I'll answer the question later, but I got to focus right now. And since then, of course, they asked her again, and she straight up said, hopefully we can move past this. It is what it is. Apology. What was said was said. Apologies was made. Let's just move forward. And I'm willing to do the same thing, Dawn. I'm not gonna hold this over Gino forever. College landscape, man. What's up with these girls? What's up with so many girls? I want to say UCLA had 3 graduate students in they starting lineup. Hey, you're eligible. You're eligible. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it was just like, damn, there's a lot of older adults playing at the collegiate level now, and it just stood out to me this year a little more than years prior. Obviously, because we're years into NIL, into the transfer portal, so it's gonna be like that. Speaking of the transfer portal, boy, oh boy, the transfer portal for women is going crazy. Let me pull up this list real quick. This shit is crazy. The transfer portal is very, very, very hefty going into this offseason, led by a big body. Adi, that's what I call her. Adi Crooks out of Iowa State. But there's a lot of players that are entering the transfer portal. Again, a lot of these schools are able to offer people money, but it's deeper than money for me. Big story came out just yesterday. LSU's actually losing a player. LSU's losing a player that was very, very, very close to Kim Mulkey and always wanted to play for Kim Mulkey, which is weird to see her leaving. But the thing is, kids want to play. Her dad came out recently and said, "Look, man, she never was going to be the priority at LSU." And I understand that when you're a talented kid and so many schools can offer you money, so many schools can offer you the ability to play rather than sit. And don't get me wrong, she gets burned. She gets in the game, but when you want to star in a role, it's hard to say, all right, wait your turn. To some of these kids don't want to wait their turn. We saw that last year with Malaysia. Malaysia was in South Carolina and was the 6th man. She thought she should have been starting. She transferred to LSU. She still became the 6th man, but she went to LSU in hopes of getting a starting position. And I understand that, man. When you're as talented as some of these kids are, you want to go star in your role. You want to go market yourself as big as you possibly can. And I actually understand it. I do get the business behind college basketball now. It's different. It's just a different landscape that we have now. It's now a business. And I know these aren't professional athletes yet, but it's coming to the point where now they are professional athletes, and it's a little bit different because they technically are only under contract for 1 year at a time. These kids can transfer over and over and over again. And the crazy thing about transferring is, boy, oh boy, I don't know if y'all seen the news. Tennessee has one player on the roster this upcoming season. All eligible players are transferring, and everybody else either graduated. The only player they have is the number one. I mean, they have one player, and then they had the number 2 recruit in the upcoming class, but she has already put in paperwork to maybe withdraw. So, man, Tennessee's coach, she got her hands full. to build a roster from scratch in April, you behind the power curve, and it's going to take, and especially being Tennessee being a story franchise, not a smaller school, but a big school that gets talent. For that many transfers to leave is crazy. Iowa State, I think, has about 6 different transfers. Again, like I said, Tennessee has about 9. So it's weird. Like I said, man, I love that these players are getting compensated now. But man, it's making these athletic directors, these coaches, these coaching staffs have to really go into their bag on how they're gonna recruit, and having to recruit later, having to only really focus on the transfer portal. Because if you think about a team like Tennessee who has 1 player on the roster, you're not going to many AAU tournaments and seeing girls that are seniors that's not signed already. Like most top-notch seniors that's going into college have declared already. So, man, Tennessee coach got their hands full. Boy, oh boy, do they got their hands full, man. I'm interested to see how that plays out, man. I'm gonna watch that very carefully. I'm really interested to see how Tennessee figures this out, man. I'm really, really interested to see, because I couldn't imagine saying, "Hey, I'm about to start my season and I only have 1 person for sure that's rocking with me." That's insane. That's kind of crazy. But this is the world we in now. This is the world we in with the transfer portal and NILs. This is what we got to live with. It is what it is. I'm gonna go outside of the NBA before I go into the NBA, man. What's up with Pat Bev, dog? Pat Bev, before you got kicked off your show, before you had your legal issues and stepped away from your show, and then they didn't want you back. They stole your show, basically. Before that, you came at Trae Young. Told Trae Young he wasn't eligible, like he's not qualified to talk to you when he has a lot more accolades than you. Then you said, what do you say? Damian Lillard is not a Hall of Famer. Top 75 guy. Top 75, voted top 75 player all time. He's not a Hall of Famer. Huh? What? Pat Bev, what's wrong with you, dog? But let's leave that there. Let's leave that there. After your woes, I get it. I get it. You like, damn, I lost my job. Not my job. I lost my show. Lost your show, and then you said, well, I'm about to get popping again, so I'm just going to start shooting at people. You start shooting at Dwayne Wade and telling him what he not. Well, not really talking about what he not. You talked about the fact that James Harden is better two guard than Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade claps back, hey, how can you talk about 2 people that's better than you? You can't decide who's better. How you decide who better? Somebody on our level got to decide who better. But that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. Now Pat Bev said, instead of just going at superstars, I'm going to get more buzz by coming at an ex-basketball player that also has a very popular podcast. Now he comparing what role player was a better role player, which journeyman was a better journey, which guy that got passed around the league over and over again never really had a hardcore contract, but was a solid role. Who was the better of that? Like, come on, with Matt Barnes. Come on, Pat Bev. Pat Bev, I personally think that I actually like your takes most times. I like the way you cover basketball. I like that you keep it raw, real, every time you're going to speak your mind. But sometimes shut up, yo. You don't always got to shoot at people to get popping. You could just, like, you already got a name. I get going viral is the thing to do in 2026, but at what cost, dog? Like, at what point you gonna say, all right, man, I'm tripping. I just be saying anything to go viral. I just be saying anything. It's not worth it, man. All clicks ain't good clicks, dog. Pat Bev, chill out, dog. Chill out. Start your pod up. Get your pod cracking the same way you got the last pod cracking. Maybe you don't got the backing of Barstool no more, but you still Pat Bev. You don't gotta lean on, let me talk about people in a negative light to get clicks. I just think you're above that. I think you're above having to always say some flagrant shit to get a rise out of people. Fall back a little bit. Just do your pod. Just cover basketball. There's so much going on in basketball. You could just talk about basketball. Don't you think? I think so. All right, man. I got a question, man. I got a question for everybody. It's something that I really, really don't like that's going on in the NBA this year. Well, it's been going on in the NBA for the last couple years, and that's because of guys like one of my favorite players, Joel Embiid, the Kawhi Leonards of the world. The 65 game rule, man. I get it. It was implemented because of guys like Joel Embiid and Kawhi Leonard who sat out quite often, sitting on injuries. I won't say resting or just not playing. Actually being injured, possibly could have played, but sat more than not. I get why the rule is there, but this year, man, is something that's rubbing me wrong about how this rule is going to play out. Let me read y'all a couple of the names that are already ineligible for any award. All NBA, MVP, all defense, stuff like that, all rookie team, stuff like that. Anthony Edwards. Oh, that's we can all agree that's all NBA player, right? When he's out there, the games he's played, he's a top 15 player in the NBA. Giannis Antetokounmpo. This is one person I might be fine with not getting it because of how his season played out. Lots and lots of injuries, a lot of turmoil. Even when he was out there, he produced, but the Bucks just weren't the Bucks this year. So I might be okay with that. Jimmy Butler, Stephen Curry, Mr. Paper Mache Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, Josh Giddey, LeBron James, Lauri Markkanen, Ja Morant, Austin Reeves, Domantas Sabonis, Franz Wagner, Jalen Williams from the Thunder, Trae Young. All of these guys are going to be completely ineligible. But the one that really, 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 really makes me mad, the one that really, really hurts me this season, and I don't like the rule because of this one player. I'm going to keep it a buck. It's not because of the entire list, but the list should be a cause for pause as well. Because when I go to the people that's almost ineligible, because you're only allowed to miss 18 games. Joker's missed 16 already. I get it. We're at the end of the season. There's only about 3-4 games left. But Joker's missed 16. He could be ineligible. Devin Booker's missed 16. He could be ineligible. Victor Wembanyama has missed 16. He could be ineligible for Defensive Player of the Year, for all defensive teams, for all NBA. Victor Wembanyama could be ineligible. But the player that really, let me finish going down the list before I get to my main player. Evan Mobley, 15 games missed. Luka Doncic, 12 games missed. Cooper Flagg, 12. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 11. These guys are all very close to being ineligible for awards. But the one that stands out the most to me, and I really think that something has to change about the rule. Something has to. The freak accident of Cade Cunningham being announced a few weeks ago that he had a collapsed lung and would be out indefinitely. For a young kid like that, to be having the year that he's having at such a young age, for a team like Detroit who has had their down years and they slowly rebuilt back up behind this player, and he's been having such a high caliber year, for him to not be eligible for all NBA or any MVP votes, being the number one seed in the East, I think is criminal, man. I think that the NBA heads have to figure something out. I get it. We want the best product on the floor, so we can't incentivize not playing. But there's got to be some type of way around it for guys like this. For guys like Cade Cunningham who deserve an All-NBA this year, it has to be some way around this. If Victor Wembanyama somehow doesn't, because He got hurt in the Sixers game the other day. His ribs. So he could be ineligible, and that's just not right. It's just not right. It messes things up. But I get it. The players put us in this position. The players put us in a position where we have to worry about some of our favorite players not getting All NBAs because guys like Kawhi Leonard and Joel Embiid, who have sat out for multiple days, games, weeks, and still were eligible years prior. So I did love the rule coming in, but now with this, a guy who's not injury prone, not he always sitting out, a guy who is playing excellent basketball and not even get injured, a freak injury, a collapsed lung. I think something has to change, man. Something has to change about this rule, and they gotta fix it quick, in my opinion. I don't like it. I do not like the fact that certain guys, like, think about the second and third order effects of this. With all of these players not being eligible, think about the players that will be eligible that aren't really all NBA stat guys. They just, hey, I'm on a team and I average 22, 8 and 4. We probably got 16 wins, but that guy's going to get All NBA. That guy's going to now, I don't know if you guys know how it works. When you get All NBAs, that affects your contract negotiation later down the line. So a guy who is a fringe player, maybe, hey, I'm not really a superstar, but I'm good, is now going to be able to go to the negotiating table and ask for max money. That's how we get in situations like the Sixers were in years ago where we gave Tobias Harris max money. Guys that become eligible with one random year, they get All NBAs. So I hope the NBA figures this out, man. It's gonna be tough. It's not gonna be overnight fix. I think it should be overnight fix for Cade. I know that sounds weird. How you gonna change the rule for one player? But it's something about Cade Cunningham not making All NBA team this year that doesn't sit right with me, man. It doesn't sit right with me. And again, guys like Nikola Jokic can only miss one more game. Guys like Victor Wembanyama can only miss one more game. Huh? They not gonna be All NBA? Who the hell gonna be All NBA? DeAndre Ayton? Like, who is gonna be there? Like, I don't even know. I can't wait to see the All NBA list this year. With all of these people ineligible, I can't wait to see it. We've had some guys that have stepped into a role that I do think some people are gonna get it that deserve it. Jalen Johnson in Atlanta, guy that a lot of people don't see all the time, but he go crazy. He probably does deserve it. So this is one of them years where guys like Kawhi maybe not being there, guys like LeBron maybe not being there, and hey, I'm having a great year. Hey, he gets a chance to get one. So I appreciate it in some aspects, but in some aspects, it's like, come on, what is this? There's no way. How can we keep some of these players off All NBA? How? I don't think it should be judged off of 65 games. So if I play 64 and I average 50, I wouldn't win MVP. If I play 64 games, that one more game would have made just so much of a difference in the voters' minds. Something they got to figure it out, man. They got to figure something out before it's too late, because a lot of people, it's going to be a lot of players that's screwed out of All NBA, screwed out of All Defense, screwed out of some of these awards that they definitely deserve. All right. Before I go, since we're talking about the NBA, let me pull it up. NBA standings. Let me pull up the standings real quick for the NBA and see what the playoff picture looking like. All right, man. So in the Eastern Conference, all 10 teams that will be playoff or play-in teams are decided. Their seeding's not decided, but all 10 teams. So everybody's been eliminated. Milwaukee, Chicago, Brooklyn, Indiana, Washington, all eliminated from the playoffs already. That only leaves Miami, Charlotte, Philly, Orlando in the 10, 9, 8, 7 spot. Those are play-in spots. And then the top 6 right now is Toronto, Atlanta, Cleveland, New York, Boston, Detroit. All right, so we got Detroit in first place. It looks like what they got. They got 3.5 game in first place. So they probably got that 1 seed sewn up. It gets interesting between 5 and 9. Between 5 and 9, the Atlanta Hawks are 5, and they have a 1.5 game lead on the ninth place team. So that just tells you between 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, they can all switch before we get to the play-in, before we get to the playoffs. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. Detroit's been playing great ball. They are missing their best player, but they have been playing solid basketball without him. They 7-3 in their last 10. 7-3 in their last 10, so they still keeping the team afloat. Boston right behind them at the 2 seed. I like the Knicks at 3. I want us to get the 6 seed, man. I want the Sixers to get the 6 seed, so we have to play the Knicks. I want the Knicks. I think that's our best matchup in the first round. I'm not too keen on playing Cleveland early or Boston early. I want the Knicks as a Sixers fan. If I had to pick who's coming out of the East, it's tough to pick against Boston. I'm gonna be unbiased. I want to pick my Sixers, but I'm not confident in our coaching right now, and I don't know what our health is gonna be like. And I think that'd be a cop out for me to pick the Sixers on my podcast. Like, of course you pick the Sixers, BG. That's your team. So if I had to pick who's coming out the East, I think I'm gonna go probably back to Boston, man. With Jason Tatum coming back from his injury earlier than expected, I won't say the words healthy, but he's fresh. And Jaylen Brown was able to keep that. I won't even say that. Jaylen Brown and the rest of the Celtics team were able to keep that afloat. Without Jason Tatum, they're going to be something to be reckoned with in that first round. Sleeper team in the East, I think, is going to be us, the Sixers. And if I'm not picking the Sixers again, I would go with Charlotte, man. Nasty, weird team to play. They play quick. They play up and down the court. LaMelo Ball, good luck trying to defend him. So they could be a sleeper team. If they could sneak into the playoffs, they could. If they get an 8 seed, would I be surprised if they beat Detroit in the first round? I don't know, man. Missing Cade Cunningham's going to be big, going to be huge for Detroit in the playoffs, man. Like I said, man, I just hate to see that happen. All right, down in the West, though. I know I said that all 10 was solidified up east. I said up east. Over in the East, but in the West they are as well. The play-in teams are as follows. Golden State, Portland, the Clippers, and the Suns. They are 100% play-in teams. No chance of making the playoffs. The playoff team so far, I won't say no chance of making the playoffs. After the play-in, they'll be in the playoffs, but they are 100% going to be play-in teams. As far as the top 6 seeds in the West, we got OKC, San Antonio, Denver, the Lakers, Houston, and Minnesota. So, OKC obviously been looking good all year. They've only lost 16 games. Been the best team in the league, hands down. At least for the last 2.5 years, easily. They looking to repeat. I'm not gonna front and act like I don't think they probably gonna compete, but I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. My pick, if I'm not picking the Sixers, please don't let all my Sixers fans. All the Sixers fans gonna curse me out because I'm about to say this. But my favorite to win the championship is the Spurs, man. The Spurs is good. If Victor Wembanyama can be healthy, I think the Spurs are the best team out west. I do get it. OKC has a better record than them. But if anybody watched those matchups this year, man, San Antonio has gotten the best of them plenty of times, man. And the Spurs look really good. They rebuilt it around the kid, a lot of young, talented guys, and they rebuilt it around Wemby. And now they are back where we used to seeing the Spurs at, man. Where we used to seeing the Spurs at. But Denver right behind them at 3. We all know Denver will not be easy out in the playoffs. The Lakers have fallen lately, losing 3 straight. Losing 3 straight, man. Team that fell apart on LeBron, dog. LeBron is the third option, and 41 years old, and everybody else fell apart. Luke is out. Austin Reeves is out. Hopefully they're both back for the playoffs, but it's not helping a playoff seed, and I believe they were in the 3 seed before that, before they went on this 3-game losing streak. But now on this 3-game losing streak, they have dropped down to 4. Houston and Minnesota round out the top 6, like I said. I like what I see in Houston, but man, we might get a KD LeBron first round. We might get a KD LeBron first round, dog. That's crazy. That's crazy. KD LeBron in the first round. It looked like Houston and the Lakers will be playing. Let me see everybody record. Yeah, that's almost guaranteed. Yeah, that looks like that's almost guaranteed. That we're gonna see KD and LeBron in the first round. I like that. I like that. If I had to pick the teams coming out of the play-in, I would have in a 7-8 matchup. If it stays the same, I would have the Suns beating the Clippers, and I would have Golden State beating Portland in the 9-10 matchup. And then in the Clippers versus Golden State, I'll probably take the Clippers. So again, in the West, BG is going with the Spurs to come out the West, and if not the Sixers, the Celtics to come out the East. Could be wrong. I would love to be wrong about my Sixers. I would love for my Sixers to win a championship we ain't won one since 1983. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. All right, man. Before I get out of here, any final takes? Oh, I was talking about college basketball and didn't mention. Shout out to North Carolina, my dogs, Tar Heels. We had to fire Hubert Davis. Not fire. We let Hubert Davis go. Mutual let go. But we signed Mike Malone. Oddly enough, I wanted Mike Malone to be the Sixers' next head coach. I was hoping for Nick Nurse to be gone next year, and was hoping that we got Mike Malone in Philadelphia, and I was hoping for Billy Donovan to think about coming down to Chapel Hill. But we got Mike Malone, and I'm happy about it, man. It's the first time in a very, 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 very long time that the head coach for the North Carolina Tar Heels will not have any connection to North Carolina. Well, he does. His daughter plays, I believe, volleyball at North Carolina. But as far as any type of alumni, he is not. So I'm interested to see, man, how a guy like Mike Malone, an NBA guy, with the way colleges, like we talked about, has turned more business, the way college has turned more to that business side. Hey, how much can I get you? What can I provide for you? How can I build you up to be more marketable for the NBA? I'm interested to see, is Mike Malone going to be more of a high school guy, or is he going to be more of a portal guy? I think he's going to have to jump into the portal this year, simply because he just was hired. So anybody that he wanted to recruit is either already signed somewhere else, or he's still going to get any of Hubert Davis's recruits that he got. So I'm interested to see, man, how Mike Malone is going to attack the transfer portal and bring the savvy that he's had of being an NBA coach and being in those locker rooms and being around GMs and understanding different type of pitch methods to guys, how he's going to recruit, man. So I'm very, 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 very interested in that, man. If y'all can't tell, man, I just love coaching. I love the every part of being a coach, teaching the game, leading men or women to a common goal, building a team. So I'm really, really excited for what Mike Malone is going to bring to Chapel Hill next season, man, because there's been some down years. Like I said, I meant to talk about that when we was talking about college earlier, but I forgot, man. All right, man. It's just been me tonight. It is 12:45, Thursday, April 9th, 12:45 in the morning. I'm gonna get this edited down. I'm gonna get this out in the next couple hours, man. Like I said, man, I'm gonna try to do this more, man. I hate when I get those phone calls and them text messages. Hey, dog, what's up with the pod? I don't know, man. I just ain't been myself. But I'm trying to get it back. I know y'all tired of hearing this soapbox story. Everybody go through shit, BG. Shut up and get in front of the camera. Well, I'm here. And I'll be back, man. Like I said, man, I got some guests coming. My dog Chip will be back, man. My dog Smitty will be back. I'm supposed to top it up with him. As always, Fred G's music about to come. So we know we do our interviews right before he about to drop an album. So I got a lot more stuff coming, man. Like I said, this summer I'm focusing on locking into the pod, locking into coaching. Just had some training sessions I had a training session earlier today with my daughters, trying to get them ready for next season. Got them in different basketball camps. My youngest daughter is actually going to the Nike camp and to Kara Lawson's camp coming up here to the St. James. this summer. So a lot of basketball this summer, and a lot of content, man. I'm not gonna forget where my safe space is. My safe space right here in front of this camera, man. I feel most comfortable. I feel most confident when I'm able to just be myself in front of this camera, just get my thoughts off my mind. So I appreciate y'all for listening. If you do listen, if you don't listen, just hit the like button. I still love you, man. And with that being said, man, this has been BG What We Talking About, episode 34, man. It's been my pleasure to be back, man. I'll be back. You know what? I'll be back next
You're
week.
not tuning in with BG from your mobile device, airways, or maybe even your TV. Yeah.
The real, the fake, the money, the power, respect. Even tough tops that might just leave you upset. The old, the young, that talk out the side of their neck. What separates just being good from the best? I did what I did, so I really don't have no regrets. Maybe real estate, cause we got a lot to address. Giving people their flowers before they get put to rest. If we disagree, just know that I still want you blessed.